This course will cover Advanced Placement Macroeconomics. If you are taking a college-level Principles of Economics course, this should be useful as well. So a good place to start when studying economics is to ask the question, what is economics? And rather than give you a definition to memorize, I want to introduce a statement that really gets at the heart of the study of economics. The statement I want to examine is this one: because resources are scarce, we have to make trade-offs. And let's look at it in two parts. So first, because resources are scarce. It's important to know what we mean when we say resources. And in economics, resources are basically all the things that allow us to make goods and services. And we separate them into three groups in economics. So first is labor. Labor is also known as human resources. And labor is the ability of people to do work. So whether someone works in a factory, serves food, pulls teeth, gives you medicine, teaches, all of those people are doing labor. And how much labor we have in a society depends on the number of people who are available to do work. The second category of economic resources is land, and land is also known as natural resources. And natural resources are all the materials that we can turn into goods and services. So, for example, trees or forests are natural resources. We can take the wood and turn it into paper or use it to build houses. Oil and gas are another important natural resources. We use them to heat our homes, run our cars, etc. So natural resources are all the useful things we find in nature. And then the third and final category of resources in economics is capital. And capital is all the stuff that allows us to get work done. So think about different tools and machineries, factories, even things like the highway system, trains, other transportation networks. These allow us to get around and get stuff done. And together, labor, land, and capital are all called factors of production. So they're factors of production because they're the inputs, they're stuff that we use to produce goods and services. When we combine labor, land, and capital, we get goods and services. And the different people in the economy, people like you and me, want a lot of goods and services. So we want goods like housing and food. We want services like education or healthcare. And the idea of scarcity, so we say these resources are scarce because we don't have as many resources as we would like to make all the goods and services we want. So if it were up to us, we would always have more, right? We'd have more stuff, we'd have more services available. But how much we can make is limited by our factors of production. So scarcity is the idea that our demand for goods and services far outweighs the resources we have available. And it's this fact, the fact that resources are scarce, that leads to the second half, which is we have to make trade-offs. So first, let's make sure you understand who's making the trade-offs. The we refers to various agents or people in the economy. And we categorize them into three types. One are individuals, which you'll also see referred to as households. Two are businesses or firms. And third is government. And all the agents in an economy are constantly making trade-offs. And you have probably made some trade-offs yourself. So for example, when I got my first job, I wanted to go to the movies and buy clothes and go to restaurants with friends, but I wasn't making enough money to do all of these things, and I basically had to choose. So trade-offs are choices that we make. And individuals, for example, might have to decide whether to work a few extra hours or to spend that time with friends and families. So individuals sometimes face a trade-off between work and leisure. If you are a new business, you may have to choose what your business will make. So should we manufacture cars or computers? So businesses have to choose between different goods. And governments also have to make some tough choices. For example, a government might have to decide whether to charge citizens higher taxes or to provide fewer public goods like parks. So governments sometimes face trade-offs between taxes or tax revenue and expenditure. So this process of various economic agents making trade-offs is really at the heart of economics. And so a good definition for economics is the study of how society allocates resources. That's all for this first video. So to quickly recap, we have various people or agents in the economy who want goods and services. And to make these goods and services, we use economic resources or factors of production. But these economic resources are scarce. We don't have as much of them as we would like. Therefore, the various agents in the economy have to make some choices or trade-offs. They have to make allocation decisions. And economics is really the study of how they make these allocation decisions. That's all for this video. Next time we're going to take a look at opportunity costs.